What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Hill Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Jeremiah, and with me, as always, is my wonderful, amazing wife, Ashley.
Hello.
How are you doing this evening?
Great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's fall break. Got a little bit of time to sleep in tomorrow, over the next week. You know,
Yeah.
it's a big change up. I do not like waking up before the sun gets up. I think 7, 8 o'clock in the morning is good for me. I do like getting up early, just not that early.
Right. I know.
Just not crazy about it.
No, but
So yeah,
I don't know. I like it. I like getting up early like that. It makes me. I want to take a nap halfway through the day, and
I guess if I could
I don't
sleep,
necessarily want to take.
if I could sleep well and get my 8 hours the night before, I'd probably be okay. But it rarely happens these days. Hopefully, eventually I might get back to where I sleep. But it seems the older I get, the less I sleep at night.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm 43. I guess that comes with it. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for checking out our podcast. We cover stories on the strange, the paranormal, the unknown, things of that nature. So if you guys like that, please hit the subscribe button. We had every intention of doing this, actually recording this on video for you guys this time, and things just didn't work out. We've been kind of busy, but we do have some time over the next week, so we will for sure have it set up by the next time we do it, and we'll be adding some other things to the show just to make it a little more interesting for you guys. A couple little segments we'll be doing and things like that, and we'll also have some other uploads on the channel, just different things. We got a lot coming up for the fall season and the winter season, and we plan on making the channel grow as much as we can, and with your guys' help, it shouldn't be a problem. And we really appreciate all the subscribers we do have. You guys are really awesome. We appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
It's been crazy out there. There's talks of nuclear. I think the president said Armageddon, to be exact.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy times.
Excuse me.
Seems like there's always something about nuclear threats going on, and it's all about people that have, it affects people that have nothing to do with the politics, and it's kind of sad. But on a positive note, President Biden pardoned all possession of marijuana on a federal level and encouraged governors to do it on a state level, and also insisted that the attorney general and some other person review the classification for marijuana. So it's actually quite a historical day as far as that goes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an advocate myself. I think it has a lot of health benefits to it.
Sure.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, obviously it was made illegal for all the wrong reasons to begin with. It's based on discrimination, and it's been a long time coming, and it should have been done a long time ago, in my opinion. The dinosaurs need to get out of the way. If you don't agree with that, just shut up. Nobody wants to hear it. You're a dinosaur, you need to get out of the way. You're in the way of progress. I mean, holy shit, it's a plant. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Holy shit. What are people thinking?
I feel like people should be able to do whatever they want to do.
I mean, alcohol is legal. You know what I'm saying? People can go get wasted, get drunk, drink as much as they want to drink, and it's not a problem. So.
Right.
But if I want to sit at home, relax, and watch a movie and not bother anybody, that's an issue. I don't understand that. Obviously, it only becomes an issue when somebody you don't like is doing it and you have the power to control it, right?
Right. Well, you living in a state that it's still completely illegal.
Right, yeah.
Makes you look at it. I guess,
Yeah,
I guess the way that a lot of other people in other states that are legalized now did.
Well, the thing about it being illegal here is they still sell the Delta 8 like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And what is that doing? It's like you can get a little high, but not too high. That doesn't make sense to me. I
Mm.
feel like they're really trying to capitalize on it without actually selling the real product. You know, it's
Yeah.
sad. And maybe after Biden did what he did, everything will change. And
Well, our governor is working on trying to get it.
he has been,
Hmm.
and I think he received a huge push today with that from.
I sure hope so.
And I think people are calling President Biden Dank Brandon right now. So yeah,
What?
Dank Brandon.
I
Yeah, it's
have not
actually
heard this.
trending. Yeah,
Oh wow.
it is. But
Okay.
but yeah, I thought that was awesome news, man. I've been waiting for Kentucky to do something for a long time as far as that goes, and I myself, believe it or not, I was arrested for possession of marijuana back in 1998, I believe.
Long
I
time
really
ago.
was, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was actually marijuana fragments. That's what the citation said. It was a little quick trip to the drunk tank. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just sat in there for a couple hours. It was like 3 in the morning when I went in there, so I had to sit there till somebody woke up to come get me out. I think I signed myself out or something after the next day came in. I don't know. I don't remember. It wasn't anything serious, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, a lot of people were affected by that. It's good to see that we got change happening, and we do have stories for you guys. It's Halloween time. Time for all the spooky things, the things that go bump in the night, the boogeymen to come out. You know,
Yeah.
all the scary movies, all the fall weather. The vibes are out there, man. There's heavy Halloween vibes out there. It's real windy. I don't know what it's like where you guys are at, but where I'm at here in Central Kentucky, it's very. I think it's supposed to get down to freezing tonight. It's very windy outside. There's a full moon. So yeah, you couldn't ask for like a more Halloween esque type environment right now here in Kentucky. So
Yeah, it's especially this night.
and I'm
It's
loving
amazing.
it.
We are,
I'm
however,
loving
in
it.
a
I'm loving it. I love
freeze
every
warning
minute of it.
for
Freeze morning.
early morning hours.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
yes. Which is crazy. I love it though. I'm not. The thing about fall for me is it just skips to winter so quick. It's just like almost. I wonder how long before we don't have fall any longer. Like it seems like it
Right.
gets shorter. It's like fall and spring. It seemed to me like they get shorter every year. I don't know. Maybe maybe time goes quicker the older you get. That's what it seems like happens to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, on to a story. I do have some cool stories for you guys. I don't want to keep rambling on too much. There's so much going on, in the news, and this is a podcast, so we do want to talk about everything. We can't just limit ourselves to certain things. Not in the world we live in today. It's just too much stuff going on out there, and it's important we talk about these things. And you guys can comment and engage with us if you'd like, and we'll always respond to the comments. And also, before I get into the stories, like I tell you guys all the time, if you have a story you'd like to share, you can send that story to us at hillshadowsky@yahoo.com. Now I will put that on the screen periodically if you guys need to write it down or whatever. We'd love to hear from you guys. And on to the stories. I found one tonight I thought was really interesting, and obviously there's different sources where you can read about this thing, but I'm reading, to be exact, from Cryptids fandom, and it's kind of like a Wikipedia for cryptids or whatever. It's a pretty cool little site, and I'll leave the link in the description so you guys can go check it out. And it's got some cool stuff on the website. You guys would probably really dig it. So anyway, the Albatwitch. Oh, if I can see about the Albatwitch, let's see what happened about it. The Albatwitch is one of several local legends in the area of Columbia, Pennsylvania. They talk of a creature they call the Albatwitch. It's a small, about, they say, 3 to 4 foot tall, man-like creature that supposedly lives in wooded areas. Their main area of residence seems to be near a place called Chickies Rock, which is a apparently a heavily wooded area along the banks of the Susquehanna River. It's about a mile or two north of town there, and said the Albatwitches were also reported from wooded areas all along the shore of the river. Now, the creatures are named for a habit which they possess, and that's apple snitch, is what the bizarre common name is. And they are reputed to have a taste for apples. So these things snatch apples from people, apparently, and I think they did it back in the 1800s when the first settlers came in. It said, legends would often speak of how they would steal apples from picnickers and occasionally throw them at startled people. So they would toss apples at people as well.
Huh.
And the creatures often sat in trees, which I find interesting, and they would come down to find food. Legend says that the Albatwitch either became extinct or were nearly driven into extinction in the later years of the 19th century. So, if there are any of these things still around, there's probably not a whole lot of them, but they say, I don't think there's been any sightings that I'm aware of recently. If I'm wrong, just let me know. But this place, Chickies Rock, this is where the creatures supposedly live, and it has a tradition of strange sights and sounds there. And in the 50s and 70s, a man-like figure was seen a few times, and local legends speak of sounds like a crack of a whip they can hear in the woods at night. So you gotta wonder, are these sounds, do they have anything to do with the Albatwitch? Now, whether these stories are connected or not, several sightings of Bigfoot-type creatures have been recorded in this area. And there was a vague report, of a sighting of a hairy humanoid that came out of Lancaster in 1973, and that's about 10 miles east of Columbia. And then another sighting came from the town of North Anvil, which is about 20 miles north of this area in the same year. So, a number of reports have also surfaced out of a neighboring place called York County, and some sources say the Susquehannocks, like many Indian tribes, believed in an ape-like monster, and sometimes would even depict it on their war shields. The Susquehannocks were a local tribe, and coincidentally, major evidence of their civilization was found at the base of this place, Chickies Rock. So, yeah, apparently these guys are about 3 to 4 feet tall, and they like apples, man. Which I always wonder, like people who go bigfooting or whatever, or try to interact with Sasquatch, and use gifting or whatever. A lot of people will leave apples, right?
Right.
And something takes the apples, and who knows, man? Maybe it's the Albatwitch. I don't know how to say it. It's apple snitch is what it is, but Albatwitch? I think it's Albatwitch. Albatwitch. So Albatwitch. There's a T in there that I forgot, but yeah. A hairy humanoid. So it's who knows, man? These things could get bigger, and maybe they're just juvenile Sasquatch,
Right.
I don't think anybody studied them long enough to know that that's the size they actually are. Maybe it's just the ones they see. There's also a picture, and I don't know anything about where this picture came from. It's a cool little picture, though. I'll include it in the video so you guys can check it out.
Is that supposed to be real?
I mean, I don't know if I can
It looks
find
like
anything out about it. It just says
blurred,
Albatwitch. So.
Tiny Sasquatch.
Yeah, it's an interesting little photograph, though. It's it's like most Sasquatch pictures. It's blurry, and who knows, man. I know you got a couple stories too. I do have another story or two that kind of just interesting little stories. Nothing real long, but something for Halloween. I wanted to share, but I'll let you go ahead and go. And
me?
Yeah, let's hear what you got.
Oh, okay. So this is out of Kentucky.
All right, home state. Let's go.
It's legend. I got this just researching, and I found a story called "Little White Men in Kentucky."
Yeah, I'm anxious to hear this.
Legendsofamerica.com. Okay.
I'll include the link to this in the description as well, so you guys can check it out.
Supposed to be a true story.
All right.
So, here we go.
Buckle
First,
up.
let me say that I'm a 29-year-old male from Kentucky and a skeptic when it comes to ghosts. I believe that there must be a logical explanation for everything, though it may be a logic that we do not currently understand. If asked about UFOs, I would have to say that, though again skeptical, I feel the possibility is far greater than that of spirits of the dead walking among us. The reason I mention this is that this story falls somewhere between UFOs and ghosts. I want to assure you that, as God is my witness, this is a true story. It has recently been on my mind and really scares me yet today. My story begins late one evening in midsummer about 15 years ago. At that time, I had a very strange habit. I was absolutely obsessed with throwing rocks. I would spend hours engaging in my hobby, particularly at a spot about 60 yards up the hill behind my house where there were many rocks. Because the summer days were getting very hot, I adopted the habit of waiting until evening to pursue my odd hobby. It was a ritual that I had been repeating every night for about a month. At 14 years of age, I was a rough and fearless boy, and all the ghost stories in the world would not have kept me from my love of stone throwing. So, on this particular night, I was out on the hill, sitting in my usual spot, and happily throwing away. I'd been doing this for about an hour, and it was just beginning to get dark when I heard the front door to my house open. I knew that my father was coming out to tell me it was getting dark and to come on in so he could go to sleep without worrying about me. Predictably, he came around the house and stopped at the bottom of the hill, yelling, "Donald! Eric! Come on in! It's getting dark and I want to go to bed." Eric is my nephew, who was about 9 years old at the time. I continued to sit, mumbling a low, "Huh, okay." My father then walked a bit closer, saying, "Donald! Eric! You boys get in here now." I then stood up and replied, "Eric is not up here. He's in his room. I'm the only one up here." My father then continued up the hill, asking, "Well, who were those people you were talking to?" I responded, "No one. I'm here alone." To this, a frightened look crossed my father's face. "Donald, honey, are you sure that Matt and Eric are not up here?" he asked. Matt was a friend of Eric's. "No," I replied. "Matt is not even here tonight." He then said that there had been someone behind me, and hadn't I seen them? When I said no, we began to look around the yard. After searching the property very thoroughly, we went inside the house to confirm that every family member was where they were supposed to be. They were. When we then woke up my brother, who got his pistol and went up the road to see that there were no strangers in the area and make another search of the yard. All the while, my poor father was strangely quiet and looked so frightened. I'd never seen him in this way before. It was not until the next morning that he had recovered enough to tell me the whole story. My father said that when he walked around the house, he saw two little people standing behind me, dressed all in white. He described them as looking like a damn doctor or something.
Hmm.
He did not see me, as I was sitting down, and he assumed that the little people, whom he estimated to be about 3.5 to 4 feet tall, were me and my nephew. When he shouted for me to come in the house, the little people ran around the side of the hill above me, then went behind some small buildings in our property, and he never saw them again. Now, it's important to know that our yard was totally fenced in 2 sections. The little white men, as my dad put it, were standing right behind me on the other side of the fence. However, when they ran away, they were inside the fence hiding behind the outbuildings. There was an open gate which went out into our yard, which was also fenced. They could not have gotten into our yard without my seeing them, and there's no way they could have crossed the fence so fast and would have certainly been heard by the dogs, which would have raised a ruckus. Afterward, my father admitted that the incident scared him worse than anything had ever before. So much so that for months he would not go out after dark without being armed. Though I saw my father's fear, I was still not afraid until he said to me, "They were standing there looking right down your shirt collar." That scared me some.
Wow.
To this day, I haven't a clue what these little people were. I often wonder where I would be if my father hadn't come out that night. I also wonder how many other nights they may have been there before. I'm wondering if anyone has ever heard anything similar to this. If you have, or ever do, I would appreciate you letting me know.
Dude,
Yeah.
I wonder where in Kentucky this.
I know, it never really says. So I don't know.
I mean, obviously, I'm reminded of the little green men that
Sure.
we covered back in one of our
But these ones are
earlier
white.
episodes. Yeah, they are white, and
Mm-hmm.
are they? I guess they're taller if they were looking down his
No, he
neck
was
or
sitting
something.
down. Just
Okay,
sitting down,
so they
throwing
were
rocks. These
smaller,
things were.
smaller
Dad said
dudes.
they were only like 3.5 to 4 foot tall.
I wonder if they were the Albatwitches.
Well, whatever they were moved really fast and then disappeared because they never found them anywhere else. That's why I said it's somewhere
Very
between like ghost and
interesting.
UFO
I
because
wonder how the dude didn't
or
see it
alien.
himself. You know,
I don't know. They were
it's
behind him.
crazy how these things can, how sneaky these things can
Mm-hmm.
be. So if you guys go out in the woods or hike or whatever, just pay attention. I always tell Ashley, it's all about awareness and reaction time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you survive, man. Stay alert.
Know your
Don't have your
surroundings.
head down on your phone, just walking along,
Mm-hmm.
just being food for whoever wants to eat. That's crazy.
Right.
You gotta be alert out there. There's things out there people don't tell you about, and they're gonna call you crazy if you do run into it. So,
Right.
and you might run into it. So be prepared for it. I mean, personally, I don't think I've ever crossed paths with anything of the cryptid nature, but it's possible that I have. And but I do believe in it.
Yeah.
You know, without a doubt, I believe in it. I've witnessed enough in my life that you know I for sure think it's possible.
Yep.
And I don't want to call anybody a liar either. And I've heard some very compelling stories, and I believe people.
Right.
I truly do. I know everybody's not telling the truth, obviously, but I think for the most part, people are honest and upfront, and most people don't even like talking about this stuff. It's really weird
Hmm.
because I'm not. I don't care. I'm very upfront
Yeah.
and forward with everything. But a lot of people are very reserved when it comes to this topic, and they don't like talking about it. And if you get them to talk about it, a lot of times they don't want you to use their name or whatever. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to talk on camera for whatever reason. So they're very, very reserved about it. They don't like doing it. But it's awesome when they do. You get a lot of really cool stories when people do open up about it. Most people do have a story. It seems like
Yeah.
it's just getting it out of them, right?
Yep.
But I don't have anything really crazy for the next one. It's just something small that I got off the Travel Channel website, and it's just kind of some haunted stories for Halloween, ghost story kind of things from Reddit. I believe is where this came from,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure what the article is on Reddit, but I do have the link to this website where I got this from. I'll put in the description, and I'll go ahead and get into this. And this is a story somebody had wrote on Reddit, like I said.
Okay.
I was driving across country with my mom and sister when I was 16. My sister was 20. It was late, but we were well rested and still alert. We were driving along an interstate and needed gas and a bathroom break, so we stopped at the only rest stop within 200 miles. There was a van full of teenagers on a road trip at the gas station, as well as a small gray car parked at the pump in front of us with two young men standing still outside of it. When we got there, everything felt wrong. We'd been on the road for days and seen many rest stops at night and had never been afraid until that moment. My mom and sister went inside and I stayed in the car. I heard the teenagers say they were creeped out and couldn't get the pump to work and left in a hurry. I was watching the car in front of us and the two men had not moved at all. Not an inch. They weren't talking. They weren't on the phone. They were just standing there, still as stone. My sister and mom came running back out to the car, and when they got in, the two men slowly turned to look at us while not moving or pivoting the rest of their bodies. And I swear, we all saw the same thing. They had eyes dark as pitch black and empty, truly empty. Well, it says not dark as pitch and empty, truly empty, not black, not reflecting any light at all, just a void.
Hmm.
We sped out of there and didn't stop until we were in the next city. The worst thing about the entire experience, we couldn't find the place on any map. We knew exactly what spot on the interstate to look, and we couldn't find it on Google Maps or any paper map we had. We even asked locals about the creepy gas station out on that stretch of road and only got confused looks. We've traveled on that interstate since, and there is no rest stop. So that's interesting. You know,
Hmm.
it sounds like these guys could have been like the Men in Black, right?
Right?
They're just standing there outside of their car, just or what are those other stories like Black Eyed Children or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that?
Black eyed
Yeah,
children.
we need to cover that one time. I don't really have anything pulled up in the moment.
No.
What we do, guys, is we find stories to share every week, and we don't tell each other anything, so the stories are new to us when we hear them as well. But I don't have anything on the Black Eyed Children right now. We'll do that in an upcoming episode. And like I said, we're gonna spice things up quite a bit and make the show a lot cooler and more intricate. Add more sections to it, and if you guys have any suggestions as to
Do
what
you want me
kind
to
of
read another little
do you
ghost
got
story?
another thing?
I have a short little
Because
ghost story
I
thing that
will
I
let
can
you take
read
us
real
out
quick.
here, man.
Okay.
I don't want to keep rambling on too long.
This is just from
tonight,
Kentucky Living.
Okay,
It's
good
called
deal. So
Ghost
I'll,
Guest.
as always, I'll leave the description, the link in the description, so you guys can
Mhm.
check it out. And
So I'm just gonna read this. Take us out.
yeah, go ahead and we'll read what you got. We'll talk about your story, and we'll check on out of here.
Okay. Well, it's not anything long. It's a short little story.
Hey, that's cool.
Again,
Ain't
from
nothing
Kentucky
wrong with
Living,
that, man.
and it's called Ghost Guest. My aunt tells me the story of a ghost that stayed with her in her home many years ago. She lived alone, yet sometimes when she'd come home from work, the pictures on the wall would be facing upside down or even turned toward the wall. At Christmas, only half of her live Christmas tree caught on fire. The other half of the tree was completely uncharred. All the decorations completely untouched. It was this it was as if someone put out the fire before it got out of hand. My aunt would often find her shoes rearranged or her dishes stacked by size and shaped in the cabinet. One night she awoke to a translucent figure standing solemnly at the foot of her bed. He didn't speak or make any move toward her. He only stood silently, looking at her, and then he vanished and was not seen again.
Wow. All right, man. I'll tell you what, man. I think I got one more. I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with. And this is the
Okay.
same. This is just from the Travel Channel. Man. It's the same. It's like the next one down. It's kind of, like what you got. Nothing long, but it's a little something. It's Halloween time. It's creepy feeling outside. So let's keep it going. We were driving my friend's really old beat up Subaru through a massive graveyard. We stopped and walked down a hill and came across a little pond. There was something sitting on a rock on the other side of the pond. The figure was all black, and we couldn't make out any features other than the fact that it looked like a man who was wearing some old style top hat. We stupidly waved and shouted, "Hi!" He didn't show any acknowledgement and continued to sit on the rock. All of a sudden, he jumped to his feet, started running to us on the water, and then vanished in thin air about halfway on the pond. It says in thin water, but I'm sure it means in thin air. My friends and I screamed and ran back to the car. The car wouldn't start, and we heard something banging on the back of the car. It wasn't a constant bang, but every few seconds or so we'd hear it. Nobody was outside from what we could see in the dark, but something was making a noise on the car. I opened my phone and started dialing my mom to come give us a boost, but I had no service. None of us had any cell service. The next 30 minutes were spent trying to get her car started. No banging was heard afterwards, but we felt this heavy pressure around us. Finally, the car started and she hit the pedals to the metal. We sped out of the graveyard so fast. Immediately crossing the gates, all of our phones regained cell service. One thing I know for certain is that someone or something was out there, and it was not an animal or a human.
Not an animal or a human.
That's right.
I thought it said it was a man.
It said it was a humanoid-like figure, and it looked like it had a
Oh.
top hat type deal on its head.
Oh no.
Right. Like one of your worst nightmare things.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. The thing you used to see, the Hat Man,
Shadow
right?
Man.
What do you call him?
Yeah, he's a hat man.
So we haven't covered that
shadow.
either because of the fact that you're scared of it. You don't want to talk about it.
I
You don't like talking
it.
about it.
Mm-mm.
I don't care about the Hat Man. I know this guy's been seen all around the world, which I find to be kind of crazy in
It's
and of
absolutely
itself.
insane to me. I'll never forget the first time that we were watching something and somebody started talking about that. And
It's weird, man.
so much stuff just came like flashing back.
How
So
is
like,
this
oh my
one
God.
dude popping up everywhere? Like, there's
I
gotta
don't
be
know.
something
But
to
I
it.
have in fact seen him many, 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 many times.
What is this asshole doing, you know?
He didn't do anything when I saw him.
He don't need to be popping
just
up in
there,
everybody's
staring.
shit, man. It's just staring.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he there, and how is he there, and where is he?
I
You
don't
what
know
I'm saying?
now.
Where is this place you see
Oh.
him in?
That gives me cold chills. I don't know. I don't know.
I tell you what I find interesting is like shadow people. I don't know if we've ever actually
That's what he
covered
was.
shadow people, but we need to do that as well. We've done skinwalkers and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I think next week for sure. Also, something I'm thinking about doing, I may add like sound effects in our stories
Yeah.
to make them,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying, liven them up a little bit. What do
Sure.
you guys think about that? I think that would be awesome. And it's not like it would be too much trouble to do it. I feel like some of them would be, you know, if they're easy enough, I'll throw them in there. How about that?
Do it.
And if that's what you guys would like to hear anyway, I'll do it. But yeah, I think it would be cool.
Oh.
Just anything to spice it up, man.
Sorry about falling asleep last
Ashley fell
week.
asleep on me last week.
Dude,
I hope you guys enjoyed my story more than she did because she was out of it.
I told you that I was super
It was
tired.
a long one. I'll go ahead and say the
Was
story I did on Edmondson, Kentucky was long. It was long.
I remember hearing
Especially
like the
'cause-
first little bit, and then
Yeah.
I remember hearing like, well, she done fell asleep
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah, especially after, you
I
know,
just
we had
laid
been,
my head to the side for a second.
yeah, we had already been recording for like, what, 25 minutes or something?
I don't know.
Just when I started the story, and I think,
I am so sorry.
I think what it said when I began reading is that it was like a 15-minute read, so
Mm-hmm. Oh.
it probably took more like 18 minutes or something. So yeah, we were doing it like last week's episode was like 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
We're running at 32 minutes on the dot right now.
Okay.
Cause yeah, I can't wait to start doing this live on video because we do have a nice little area to record in. Especially once we fix it up, I think we can make it look really nice. And not to mention we'll
We have to rearrange some stuff. Is what needs to happen.
Well, we'll have it done by next week.
Yeah.
So without a doubt.
Stop saying without a doubt. Like you have said that several weeks. Stop. We're gonna try really hard to get it done.
I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. Next week I'm going on. I'm gonna be on video. You guys. There's no reason we can't. I mean, I could do it right now, kind of easily if I really needed to. But yeah, I feel like that's the direction we need to go, and I don't think. Right? Am I wrong? What?
I don't know.
Ashley is turned on me here.
Turned on you.
Yeah. People live for drama. We got drama.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. You're looking at me crazy.
I'm listening to you.
What am I talking about, though? I'm saying, though, we need to do video, man. It's like, it has to happen.
I know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know? Why are you looking at me crazy?
Oh, my word.
It is your word. Anyway, do you got anything else? I don't think you do because you're looking at me crazy. Maybe you should go to sleep again.
It's about that time. What time is it right now? Let's see. It's 11:11.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
It's past my bedtime.
Happy fall break, you guys. I don't know if you guys are enjoying any kind of fall break.
Oh, wait, hold on.
If you are, enjoy it. Be safe out there.
I just thought about something.
What'd you think about?
Hocus Pocus 2 came out.
We talked about that last week. I sure did. We said it was a good
we had
one.
watched
Remember,
it.
we were
That's
just
right.
outside. We had set up the projector.
Well, I saw
last week was
some woman complaining about it, though, and saying
not
to watch it. Have you heard of this?
Yeah,
not to watch it because they'll put spells on you.
You told
come
me about
through your
that.
TV.
The spells could be could be casting any kind of spells. Right? No.
So we're here. We're good.
Is that how spells work? Can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
So could you say cast a spell on video?
Yeah, you know what spelling is?
I don't know.
I mean, we do spell. People don't realize this, and some people would say it's crazy, but it is in fact like words are like spells as well. You have to be careful what you say.
What now?
Spelling, yes.
Spelling
Yes.
like a
Mhm.
word?
Yeah,
Like a
the way you
spelling bee.
say them. That's not spelling bee. That's not what I'm saying at
Well,
all.
what are you saying?
To put a spell on someone, like it's
Right,
spelling.
okay. Well, how do you spell then? How do you
To
spell? What
write
is spelling?
anything out, to say anything.
So it's that simple. You can say a spell,
Your words are very, very powerful.
have it recorded, and let it be played all over the country, and that spell will work anywhere it's played at. Is that correct?
I guess. I don't know.
Or does it lose power? Is it only
No,
effective?
your words have a lot of power.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess, guys, I don't know what your take is on Hocus Pocus 2, but maybe they cast a spell on me. I don't know. I don't feel like I've had a spell cast on me, and I seen it last week, so I think you guys are all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry
It's
too
all
much
good.
about it. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. We're running at 36 minutes, going on a little bit longer than I wanted
That's
to,
cool.
but
Oh, why?
why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why not? I guess if we get to talking, there's no reason to not
I
keep
know.
rolling. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. I'll have some stuff coming at you before then.